Sheboygan was just a nice, nice place, you know, and you know, when I say that, I mean it was down home. I've been telling people that I remember my first August 2nd there, Bratwurst Day. And, you know, people, in those days, people wouldn't cook bratwurst in their backyard. They were encouraged to go downtown. And they ate too much and drank too much. And on Bratwurst Day evening, you could always count on a lot of gallbladder attacks in the emergency room. And that is my first recollection of a big event, you know, after I went to Sheboygan. I thought, oh my, these people are going to kill themselves. But it was just the nicest place, and the staff was nice. We expected a lot from ourselves, but we also expected a lot from the staff.
In 1987, when I came back to Sheboygan, I started working in admitting. But one thing in particular that I liked about that is children. You know, children come into hospitals, they don't want to be there. They're scared, and would always give a child a little teddy bear to make them feel a little bit more at home, and a remembrance of the hospital as not only being a place where you go where you get hurt and they do things you don't want, but something to remember as being good. Mother Kenesha was our provincial for many, many years, but then she was up in Sheboygan at that time, and I had not mentioned this. This was in the old hospital, and we had the Anna Rice home, which was a home for elderly. It was kind of like a nursing home. She knew every patient. She just knew the city. She loved the people.
I remember the old hospital, and we moved from the old hospital to the new one. But I was on the Provincial Leadership Council at that time, and I remember when we had the dedication, it was December, and it was very cold, windy, and snowy, and I remember taking Sister Kenesha from the old hospital to the new one for the dedication and blessing, and worried, it was not that far, but worried all the way that we would be in some kind of an accident or slide into a ditch or something.
When I went up to the surgical floor, that was so huge compared to the pediatric unit. The halls were very, very long, and there were lots of patients. So I had a scooter that I went from one end to the hall with, or I did rounds on the scooter. And so we had an older sister there. Her name was Sister Regulinda. She visited the patients and prayed with them, and she decided she wanted to try that scooter. So she got on the scooter and without any supervision, and shortly ran into the wall. So of course she flew off the wall. She flew off the scooter, and she was nursing a big black eye after that. So we enjoyed teasing her about that. She was a good sport. The snowstorms there. We had snow in Missouri and Illinois, but nothing like they have in Wisconsin, at least at that time. I was amazed at the cars going down the streets with all you could see was the antenna with a flag on it above the snowbanks. And a couple of times we had huge snows that most of the staff could not get to work. I remember one time when the personnel director, I think they call them human resources or people persons now, he got in, so we put him to work. He delivered trays to the patients and helped answer lights. And we kind of enjoyed having that experience.
And coming to St. Nicholas was a great excitement in my life because all the sisters liked to be in Sheboygan. And I was transferred there and we went by train. And Sister Clarella was my companion. And we arrived in Chicago at the Union Station. And believe it or not, we carried our suitcases from the Union Station to the Northwestern to get on the train to go to Sheboygan. And that was like a 4 or 5 block walk. And I vision today what people thought of these 4 sisters walking along with these black suitcases, and they punched our ticket. And unbeknown to me, we needed the ticket again in Milwaukee because at that time the train still went to Sheboygan. So while I'm talking to Sister Clarella, I'm tearing this ticket up. And the man calls, "Tickets!" And you have to remember in those days we traveled with no money, just the tickets. And I said, "Oh my God, Clara, the ticket." And so she musters up and the man says, "Tickets," but he wasn't a happy camper. And so she handed her ticket and she said, "You won't believe this." She tore her ticket up. Well, he was betwixt and between the two of us, and then finally he took all those pieces of paper. So I always remember my trip to Sheboygan, and also told everybody, don't tear up your ticket. In the maternity, we were busy. We had about 39 sisters when I was there at the time, and we had the first set of triplets born in Sheboygan in my time, and we also had what they call the baby homecoming, and that was done every year at the summertime. And there were gifts and prizes given, and it was really organized by the auxiliary. And children, little babies to old age adults came, and there were prizes awarded from whoever came the farthest distance and whoever was the oldest or the youngest or whatever. And they paraded around the block. Well, the planning and the design of the hospital was really an interesting experience because we wanted to use the people who made furniture in town. We wanted it to be a community effort because the people who were manufacturing our furniture were also going to be our patients someday or their families, and so that they could take pride in what we were doing in the hospital. And then we kind of went through the old hospital and saw what we possibly could transfer in good taste to the new hospital. And then I think there was this sort of a feeling of loss when you're so used to being among all the people, and then you're out on the peripheral of the city. You know, you kind of miss that business, but you also appreciate the newness of the building, and again, more high-tech than it was in the old place.
To carry on that mission is, like just I said, to heal as Jesus did, to take care of the total person, to meet their needs, whether they're in the hospital or if they're an outpatient or even if they are family. We want to be able to be assistance to them when they need something.
You know, to carry on the mission, well, it's been going on for all these years, and will go on for a number of years. So, you know, the mission never ends. As long as you have people, you have mission. And it's difficult to put into words, really, but it's, in my opinion, it's feeling what you're doing and feeling with the patient and their family.
To carry on that mission means to always see your patient as a person and treat them with respect. Do the best you can in your care for them, whether it is just meeting them in the hall and saying, or a staff person, meeting them in the hall and saying hello, giving them a smile, all these little things that make a day go better.
So we are really dependent upon the colleagues carrying out the mission without us always being present. And we have a wonderful group of dedicated colleagues who I'm sure will continue that mission.
The sisters pray at their morning and evening prayer every day for the sisters for the employees that are ministering in our hospitals, that they will be able to carry on and continue our mission of serving the sick and the poor in our hospitals and our missions.
And to have compassion for the family when they're going through trials and tribulations. And to take time. You know, sometimes we're high tech and low touch. In my day, we were high touch and low tech. And I think that's what they have to get into their hearts and minds, that they have to be, we can be the best nurses in town, but if we haven't communicated to the patient, you know, or haven't been responsive to their personal or individual needs, then we've lost it. And I think that's what we learned from our older sisters.
It's true, they are the ones who are doing, living the ministry that our sisters lived when they came to Sheboygan back in about 1890. And that's the last thing I always say to any group that I'm helping with orientation, is that I'm the last sister in our division, unfortunately, but as you can see, we continue to grow, we continue to have a strong mission, and it's because each and every one of them is part of that family, part of that mission that's carrying on for the sisters in Springfield.
I would say, first of all, congratulations, because 125 years of history is what you have behind you. And all of those patients, all of the sisters who've served here and the physicians are depending on you to continue what they did into the future. And that the values of the care that we give, our Franciscan values, will guide you into the future. And that you really have a big responsibility, but we're also very proud of you for what you do every day in our name.
Well, I'm just pleased that I can congratulate everybody, because it's a real privilege that we can do this ministry in a place like Sheboygan. And the people there have been so grateful and so appreciative of all the things that we have done, that we are just as much appreciative of them.
Yeah, I really do think that for the most part, that they really are in touch with what we're all about, with our philosophy and our caring. And the reason we're there, we're not running a business. We have to run a business now in order to make it go, but that's not why we're there. Yeah, we're caregivers, not entrepreneurs.
Congratulations. It's been a long time. It's been a lot of changes. A lot of good people have been helped. And I think something I remember, or I still do know of the staff, is the longevity of some of the people who have been loyal to St. Nick's for many, many years. Several of them, Karen Held would be one, Alan Vandeloo is one, Rochelle Ross, some of these people that have been there for many, many years. And I see them as the people carrying on the torch.
Well, I truly think it's wonderful that St. Nicholas is celebrating their 125th. In fact, I can recall some years when the future was not so promising for St. Nick's. So I would say big congratulations on all that has taken place and that's happening right now at St. Nick's, and many, many blessings for the future.
Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for carrying on that mission.
Well, of course, we cannot end this without saying thank you to the people of Sheboygan, who have been the sole support of our hospital in many ways. And my memories of the 50s reflect back on the willingness of the city people, as well as the people that come to work every day to support the care and mission of the sisters. And so a big thank you to all.